What is next for President William Ruto? Now, the recent public participation on the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has left the president and his entire team rattled. It is no longer a secret that the wave of opposition Ruto has faced across the country has shaken his hold on power.
Ikiwa Gachagua ni mbaya, kila hata Ruto ni mbaya, sisi wote waende wote. Hakuna kubakisha, kufa dereva, kufa makanga.
Even Deputy President Gachagua himself, who might have expected some sympathy, wasn't spared. Many Kenyans declared that both leaders are unfit to govern the nation. The uproar was so intense that reports have surfaced suggesting that Ruto's national intelligence team has advised him to halt his push for Gachagua's impeachment. They fear it could spark tribal clashes between Gachagua's supporters and Ruto's camp. With drama unfolding daily, it is becoming increasingly clear that the president's grip on power is slipping and he knows it. But the real question is, can Ruto survive the growing wave of public anger that is now demanding his resignation? According to comedian turned activist Eric Omondi, Ruto has only two ways to save his political career. The first is to fire his entire administration and start afresh with hopes of buying the trust of Kenyans back again. The second, far riskier option is to dissolve parliament and call for new elections.
Fire all the cabinet secretaries. Fire all the parastatals. Our Kenya Power natuongezea nini? Matokens. Fire all the PSS. Fire everybody in government. Dissolve parliament. Yeah? Call for elections in 90 days. Pengine. Maybe. Perhaps. Hiyo ni option B.
That's the only way anaweza
jisave.
However, the second option comes with a major complication. The IEBC is yet to be reconstituted. Now, if Ruto were to reconstitute the IEBC now, he'd be walking straight into a political minefield. It would open the door for Kenyans to demand a referendum, something a growing number of citizens are already calling for.
They have been ignoring all this time. The agenda they have been ignoring is IEBC. William Samoei Ruto, you said with your own words, this might have been one of your lies, but you said in your own words that IEBC would be reconstituted within 30 days. It has been over 2 months. We have not heard that an IEBC commissioner has been selected. We have not heard that vetting has been done for the IEBC commission. Therefore, we as the people who elected you, we as the people who decided that you can have this seat in power, we as your bosses, you are not our boss, we are your bosses. We as your bosses are demanding, we are not requesting, we are demanding that IEBC be reconstituted so that we can go to Article 256 of the Constitution, where there is constitutional amendments by public initiative, where popular public initiative is allowed to make amendments of the Constitution.
The referendum would give Kenyans the chance to decide if Ruto and Gachagua should remain in office, a prospect that neither of them wants to face at the moment. Petitioners, including lawyers and civil society activists, are pushing hard for this referendum, arguing that it's time for Kenyans to determine whether this government is fit to remain in power. In response, Ruto and Gachagua have turned to legal heavyweights like Fred Ngatia to fight off these efforts and strike out the case. This likely explains why Ruto, despite earlier promises to reconstitute the IEBC, has dragged his feet. He understands that doing so would almost certainly trigger the very referendum that could end his presidency.
The signing of this bill paves way for the establishment of the selection panel for the appointment of IEBC commissioners. The IEBC remains a cornerstone of our democracy, responsible for overseeing regular elections at various levels, and on the overall, ensuring that our electoral cycle is managed transparently and administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable manner. I concur with leaders who have said there must be professionalism and integrity as part of the cardinal principles of the men and women who will be charged with the responsibility of overseeing our elections.
The General Assembly is deeply concerned that the country still does not have a functional Electoral Boundaries Commission. This is a major betrayal of Kenyans by the leading political formations who seem to have conspired to delay the process through technicalities in Parliament and in the courts.
The public outrage is palpable and the president seems trapped with no easy way out. With every corner he turns, Ruto faces walls whispering his potential exit from power. His best option now is to buy time, stalling until the 2027 general elections. For Ruto, delaying the reconstitution of the IEBC and postponing any referendum might be the only way to survive. But as public pressure mounts, it's uncertain whether he can maintain his delicate balancing act until then.